Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Unsung Heroes. My name is Rick Reinhardt, and today we are going to be talking about ECW's head cheerleader, Francine. Uh, the first time I saw Francine, she was already with the franchise, but her career started earlier than that when she was in the crowd at ECW and she got with Stevie Richards one night. And, Dancing Stevie was something else, man. But Francine was in the crowd. She was planted in the crowd by Paul Heyman, I believe. And, she was a standout, hot chick. But, as she continued to do her thing in the wrestling business, her looks continued to enhance. And she kept getting better looking. I remember, when she was doing the franchise stuff, that was some of the best promo work I've ever seen in the history of pro wrestling. I got to see it a lot at the ECW arena, going down there and shit like that. And we got to see Francine in her prime with the Triple Threat. Before the Triple Threat, she was with the Pitbulls. I remember she was mixed up with the Eliminators and shit like that. I don't think she was with them, but she was in some of the matches with them. I remember her getting total elimination. She was somebody that would bump, I mean, they put her through a couple tables and shit like that, pile drived her on her fucking head. She would bump. But when she would come out with the franchise, I remember my dad used to say this. He would say, man, she really plays that gold digger role well, or that, cocky, arrogant role real well. She was great at that, being an evil bitch. And not to mention some of the, clothes or lack thereof clothes that she would wear to the ring. Sometimes she would be, dressed to kill, and then other times she'd just have her ass hanging out, her titties hanging out. And, as a 14-year-old person in the crowd, I loved that shit. I think Francine was one of the, managers in pro wrestling that really took that stuff to the next level. I remember one time, this is not about Francine, but this is about Beulah, and she was, another important person in ECW. I remember one time Beulah at the ECW arena definitely had no panties on and was sitting there laying in the fucking ring for 5 minutes after a match. And, we could definitely see everything in the crowd. It was nuts. But, yeah, with Francine, it was interesting how she developed, too, because she went with Justin Credible for a little while. And, she was elevating Justin Credible's credibility in ECW. And I also remember her going with Tommy Dreamer. And her with Tommy Dreamer was a different kind of thing because she was became a fan favorite with Tommy Dreamer, and she almost kind of adapted her role. I would say that, I said this before on a different podcast, but I'll say it again, is I think Francine was the closest thing that ECW had to a Miss Elizabeth, even though she had her own thing going and her own way of doing it in like a 90s stripper porn kind of way, porn star kind of way. She still had some kind of other thing going that made her kind of sweet and I don't know what the right word is. A real wrestling chick. But yeah, I would say, out of all of the women in ECW, if I had to say, who's not my favorite, but I mean, she might be my favorite, but who would be the one if I had to pick one ECW female manager, it would definitely be Francine. Her work with the Triple Threat is untouchable. I mean, the Triple Threat had a serious run in ECW. We got to see it in the crowd, and it was a beautiful thing. A lot of people can say what they want about Shane Douglas, but we saw Shane Douglas in his prime doing shit exactly how he wanted to do it. So, when I think back about the money that he didn't make or whatever, it's one of those things. Sometimes you trade in the fortune for the creative control or something like that. It seemed like the franchise always had a good handle on his character that he was, bringing out to the world. So I think Francine added to that very, very much. They had a great chemistry going. Rumor has it they might have been together for a little while. I never had heard that back in the day, but it makes a lot of sense, or it's at least believable. So that's good. But yeah, ECW was the shit, and that's why I'm doing these things for some of these people that should absolutely be remembered as salt of the earth people in pop, in celebrity culture. Definitely salt of the earth celebrities. ECW forever. This is Rick Reinhardt. And this is the latest episode of Unsung Heroes about Francine. Peace out.